was a saga in itself to get insurance money needed to restore the beautiful Issac Theatre Royal right here in Christchurch after the quakes, and still more is needed for this simply iconic building. But now, if $150,000 can be raised by the public, the same will be matched by the Christchurch Earthquake Appeal Trust. I'm sure this is possible. And joining me now is the CEO, Neil Cox. Good evening to you, Neil.
Good evening, Chris.
Great to have you in the programme. Just discuss for me this match-for-match deal. What's this all about?
Yeah, so I mean, the Christchurch Earthquake Appeal Trust supported us through the rebuild. So there was $2.5 million donated to the rebuild of the theatre, but then they tagged the last $500,000 to us doing some public fundraising. So there's been various ways that we can do this through the processes of the theatre, but in the whole process of the rebuild, we were really proud that we didn't go out to the public of Christchurch and actually go cap in hand and say, please help us rebuild the theatre. We thought we want to rebuild the theatre and then talk to you.
And you have. You've got a lot of international performers that, you know, kindly put on various performances across the globe and here in Christchurch, and you raised some amazing money, and now the theatre is looking absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
But you still need more money.
Well, it's all about maintaining what we've done, and I think the whole process of getting a theatre up and running, and anyone will, you know, in the theatre game will know, you've got to, the model has to keep on working. We're proud of what we've delivered to the city, and the people, we believe, are very proud who've come to the theatre to see it. But it's got to be maintained, and we took out some significant loans to finish the rebuild, and they need to be serviced, and there's no getting away from that. So it's this match funding from the Earthquake Appeal Trust can actually help significantly. So every public donation that is put through the Take the Stage campaign will be matched for that. So our target's 150,000. That's what we're looking for.
Neil, you know what? Every time I've spoken to somebody who has experienced a performance in the new look Issac Theatre Royal, not one negative comment. They love the ambience, they love the feel of it, they love the fact that it really is a revamp, but it's keeping in the traditional style of what a Royal Grand Theatre should be all about. You must be delighted with the results, though.
It is, it's fantastic. I mean, we are, I pinch myself certain performances when I sit in the seats, because it really is, sometimes you feel that you're going back 5 years and sitting in a theatre that was there, and people I think are really happy with the fact that it hasn't just been bold and recreated. It was deconstructed, but recreated and reformed in exactly the same way.
I still can't believe it. When I was with you the other day having a look inside, and I still cannot get over the fact how beautiful it looks compared to, only seems like a few months ago, Neil, now. Well, I guess it's a lot longer than that now, when I thought to myself, that ain't coming up anytime soon, but you did it.
Yeah, there was a bit of thought about that.
You know what I mean? When you couldn't see much apart from an open-air plan environment, I thought, whoa.
Exactly. But then if you think about it, Chris, I mean, a lot of people weren't venturing into town. So we were, even though once the red zone sort of came down, people started venturing into town. But a lot of the people who have been coming to theatre haven't really been around there for 4 years. So, you know, it's a whole new adventure for them. And some people coming into the theatre actually have no idea how much we did to reconstruct it. So it's, for them, it's almost like, you know, again, stepping back in time a little bit.
I mean, the Theatre Royal's not like a sporting code. You don't get the massive subsidies from the alcohol industry. You don't get them. So you really do need the public of Christchurch to come to the party. I think they will, Neil. Tell us about the campaign you've got going on. I know that News Talk ZB is involved in this amazing campaign. Not only do we need to get more cash for this iconic building, but there's an open day next week too. Let's discuss that.
Yeah, there is indeed. So I mean, we've always been asked for open days for the public to come and have a look, and it's a very hard thing to structure, because, you know, how do you really do that? But we thought if we've got a good campaign like Take the Stage, where it is a fundraising opportunity as well, that the public will feel okay about coming to look around the theatre without having to see a show, and to give a minimum $5 donation to the process. So we're expecting quite large numbers next week.
This is happening on Wednesday next week. The open day is the open day hours are from when to when?
From 9 in the morning till midday. So I mean, and it's school holidays, so I mean, it's, you know, come along, bring the kids, and in the background of people wandering down the aisles and looking in the auditorium, in the background there'll be the set of Phantom and the Opera, which opens the next night. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so
you can have a sneak preview to that.
As well.
I think you'll get good crowds. You've got your school holidays coming up, and there is a genuine interest to look at a theatre without having to necessarily see a performance, but it's something where you can have a bit of a relaxing tour around to see just what it's like.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a rare thing, because normally you get bustled into a show, sit down, bustled out, and now you've got actually a bit of time to wander around and take in a bit of the glory of the theatre.
It seems like to me this theatre's going to be consistently, fingers touch wood, booked doubt you've got Phantom of the Opera coming up.
Yes.
You've already held a convention, which that's great space there. Who needs a convention centre when you've got the Theatre at Royal? You've got. Can you give us a bit of a taste? Don't you know you need to give anything away if the contract's going to be signed? But I'd imagine you've got some other decent shows on the way. Artists coming here.
Absolutely.
Come on, tease the audience.
I mean, we've as we say, Phantom of the Opera's coming. New Zealand Opera with Madame Butterfly opens in July. That's the first time New Zealand Opera have been at the Issac Theatre Royal. It was always Southern Opera before. Royal New Zealand Ballet bring Salute and Midsummer Night's Dream back in May and August this year. The Christchurch Arts Festival is coming with a show which will be extremely exciting. I'm told it's sort of a magician's rock concert, which is
that
quite
sounds
cool.
good.
Yeah, so that's a bit of fun. And also with the town hall out of action, there's a lot more music coming through. So Brooke Fraser's playing there. We've got Isla Grant playing there later in the year. So there's audiences for all. For all ages coming through to the theatre.
But what is nice about the Issac Theatre at Royal is its intimacy. Although I've got to give credit to the Horncastle Arena, it did a great job, catering for the New Zealand Ballet, catering for New Zealand Opera. It did a great job, but I bet you a bottom dollar that the managers of these two organisations will be breathing a sigh of relief knowing now the Issac Theatre Royal is fully operational again for their performances, because there is that intimate space, there's that warmth you don't get anywhere else in Christchurch.
No, exactly. And also for the Horncastle Arena management, I mean, so it was taking up days that they necessarily were losing for other performances as well.
Because they're having to compact, make smaller environments.
Yeah, so now we've got a nice synergy between the two venues. We've got a theatrical venue and an arena venue that both cater for their own individual things.
I just want to ask you, because I think it's important to remind the audience of some of the international artists that have put their money where their mouth is and donated a lot of their time to raise funds for the Issac Theatre Royal. Just remind the audience some of those amazing men.
The most favourite was Sir Ian McKellen, obviously, who just came to us and did that 15-show tour of New Zealand 2 years ago and raised $350,000 on his own. And it's still one of my most favourite memories from the fundraising campaign of being in the last night in Wellington Opera House, full, 1,500 people, and having the cast of The Hobbit, including Billy Connolly and Martin Freeman, and holding buckets and getting people to donate for a Sir Ian signature. That was a marvellous situation. Richard O'Brien, the creator of the Rocky Horror Show, is a very good friend now, and he's probably collectively raised about 100,000 himself. Miriam Margolay, who was in Harry Potter and various other movies as well. Great actor in her own right, did a performance for us in 2012 as well, and raising $10,000. Hayley Westerner has been involved. I mean, the beauty of all these things, Chris, is that they all know other people, so the networks that they engage have all pricked up their ears about what's going on as well.
We are lucky, aren't we? I mean, the international artists have really come to the party for Christchurch. But you know what, Neil? Now it's time for the public to do so as well.
Yeah, that'd be lovely. I mean, we'll provide the theatre for them for years to come, and this is the whole thing: is that we really want the theatre to be as good as it is for many years to come, so that it's for your children and for your grandchildren. In the days when we're sitting in our rest homes, Chris, with watching telly, it'll be that situation saying, God, look, there's something on at the Issac Theatre Royal. I'm going to go to that.
All right, finally, let's just recap the opening day next Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m, $5 donation. Perfect time for school holidays. And of course, we're broadcasting live. Neil, appreciate your time.
Thanks very much.
Keep up the amazing work you do.
Yeah, thank you.
It's very much respected, that's for sure.